go on the signal. Wait for the signal. Loading. Up. Time for the talking head. Well, 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 if it isn't the hero of the crossroads in the flesh. What you working on? Oh, looks good. Sometimes it's tough to put it into words. Yeah, no shit, it always is. Listen, do you know of a BLT around here? Gentlemen, this video is going to be sponsored by Xidax computers. One cool thing about Xidax is that they make awesome gaming, editing, high-speed computer setups. It's beyond my intellectual level. One cool thing that I love about Xidax is that they all love firearms. They're huge Second Amendment supporters, so that's one reason I love having them on the channel is I love technology and I love firearms technology. And when you mesh those together, it's a win-win. There's going to be a link in the description down below, so head on down there if you are on the market for a PC and snag yourself a Xidax computer. Xidax. Gentlemen, I know you're on the toilet. I know you're watching this, drinking your coffee, eating your beer, consuming something delicious, I hope. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Your comments are very enjoyable to me. I read them when I'm on the toilet, so get down there and make it happen. Gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, the Talking Black Hog Load-Bearing Vest. Today we're going over a project that I've been very excited to do. Now, I'm rather excited to go over this video. Before we dive into the gun and the mindset behind it, what I want to do real quick is talk about the gear, because one thing I was thinking about, holy what the f is that? Did you see that bug? Now, one thing I want to talk about with this particular setup is that you're going to want a lot of ammunition if you're going to be someone considered a RPK or laying down a lot of field of fire, right? So my idea for this video was to have a lot of ammunition in this rig by Blackhawk. It's more of a retro type rig, and I'm sure there's better modern options for you out there, but of course, me being the appreciator of retro gear that I am, I had to go with this because one, it's an aesthetic, two, I can do whatever I want, it's my YouTube channel. Now, the cool thing about this rig is it holds 3 mags, and I think maybe, no, it definitely holds 3, so I don't know if you can squeeze 4 in there or not, so loading it up, man, I got 3, and then I got 2 of these, they're like these torque mags. A guy sent them to me a long time ago, so I figured we could try them out for a video today, but they're a little bit more advanced, right? These are all under 29 rounds for YouTube guidelines and policies. So that's one thing we got to consider. I love the shake of the gunpowder in the rounds. That's my favorite. So 3 mags. And then of course, this is my metal, my Stand-Ag side. Got some Duramags. Okay. And then we got 3 more mags, right? So in total, on our person, we have all these different mags. In total, for this setup, we can always do more belt line kit. You can always do that. I would maybe throw this, maybe throw some sort of Alice rig or a belt line kit over or under with some suspenders to even add more weight, or a handgun of some kind. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 on the body, 1 in the gun. Today we're going over a project that I've been very excited to kind of get my hands on or show off on the channel now for a bit. Now, I've done something similar to this with the AUG video, with the AUG H-bar video, but that was a while ago. I wanted to come back to this kind of concept, especially one with the dedicated AR-15 platform. Now, by the time this video comes out, I will actually have the RPK 74 video with Brandon Herrera. That will be live, so go watch that. That's a good one, and you can actually see what the real RPK is if you have no idea. Chances are, if you watch this, though, you're also a big gun nerd. So what this is my American version of the RPK. Actually, real quick, John, let me down this vest. I'm wearing like a sweater vest, and it's like 100 degrees out in Arizona here. It's just not advised. All right, so what this is, gentlemen, this is going to be a BCM lower on a Red Right Hand upper. Now, this project, essentially, if you haven't pieced it together now, is my Americanized version of the RPK, and I'm aware that there are several different things out there that exist on the market that replicate the RPK here, at least for us Americans, right? Now, most notably, what we often think of when we think of American RPK, at least I do, is I think of the H&K M27 IAR. Now, the Marine Corps has adopted that, and it's apparently to great effect. Now, keep in mind also is that I was never a Marine. I'm not a light machine gun expert, and I don't have the skill set that some of you steely-eyed veterans would, with setting up fields of fire and doing all this crazy intense stuff, having your kit dialed in for this. I'm just a dude having fun in the flat range. So keep everything I say and do to a grain of salt level of intelligence, right? This is just my civilian Americanized knowledge coming at it from a different angle of having a lot of firepower. That's the thought process right there for you, okay? So don't crucify me if anything seems out of line. If anything, get down in the comment section for all my guys that were carrying around cool old machine guns in the military, impart some fun knowledge on us, please. This is going to be a 20-inch H-bar upper with some heatsink cooling technology in there, okay? It's got an adjustable gas tube. Or adjustable gas ring, I should say. This thing is pretty freaking sweet. It took me all of like 5 seconds to dial in what gas setting I wanted. I think I got it on, looks like 9. I got on the gas setting 9, and it is a sewing machine, and it's killing it. I really liked it off the bat, okay? Now, notably what I realized is that you gotta make sure this kit's dialed in. You would wanna crank down all the attachments on here, just with any other gun, but especially more so. So one thing I'd encourage you doing is witness marking wherever you place this stuff to make sure that if it does move on the fly, you can crank it down and see what's going on. I do plan to rattle can this, give it more of the desert ambiance, but I guess real quick, we'll go over the setup of the gun. It's a little hot still, especially, I guess I'll put my gloves back on. It's a little spicy. It's sitting in the sun. Just did probably around 300-ish, 360 rounds through it. So right now she's cooking. Probably cook a steak on that mug. If I were to somehow have the real estate to cook a steak, that's a really bad example. Let's go over the setup real quick. It's not too crazy. So 20-inch barrel. It's got a 14-inch Midwest Industry rail. Surefire. I always do that to myself. Surefire M300 on here. So I originally had some different light setups out here, but then I realized that's a lot of weight out front. And for what I'm gonna be doing with it, we'll talk about the mindset behind it. I don't need that. So just a little light to cut down on the weight up here with a little thumb click. If I'm using this in a setting that needs light, it's gonna be a really interesting setting. And of course, we have the Magpul bipod as far as we can go. I've seen different pictures of Marines using their M27s. They'll either have it out far like this on the rail, or they'll bring it closer. I'm not a big fan of the grip pods. You try and have a thing that does 2 jobs. It's gonna do 2 jobs poorly. So just went with the CAC broom handle grip, which I think is much better. Neotech EXPS3, I'd rather have, of course, a Trijicon ACOG with an RMR on top, but I don't own one, so I just went with this for now, just showing it off. And then we got, looks like, let's say the Radian charging handle back here, Magpul irons, BCM lower with stock, and just a flared Gun & Gear magwell. So that's essentially a pretty basic ass setup. It's more so just accentuating what the gun's gonna be doing. Bipod for me on this gun's gonna be a must just for getting on the gun, cranking down, mitigating that recoil. The recoil wasn't really bad once you're proned out, and it's not terrible when you're also standing up. I just think the gun in this setup is gonna be much better proned out. So that's one thing I noticed. Now, I'm aware, all right, I wanna give some credit to where some credit is due. I'm aware there are other guys out there have made RPKs. Most notably, it's gonna be Brent 0331. I really like what he did, and it inspired me to get on my own journey of this. So I thought that's a worthy shout out. So I think it's a great collection to an arsenal because it's not your standard AR-15 or it's not your standard M16. It serves a more niche role with a lot of firepower output, which I find very cool. So that's one reason I've always wanted to do this, because I think it, one, as American gun owners, it's our Second Amendment right to do this kind of thing. And the whole point of this is to be responsible firearms owning civilians that can meet the threat when it arises, right? Evil is out there. We clearly know evil is out there. Bad guys want to do us harm, and this exists to help prevent that, right? If the Chinese and the Russians start invading from the sky. So yeah, this could be a great Red Dawn gun, but at that point I'd have, let's just say at that point, if it was ever Red Dawn, I'd go into a better trigger pack, you know what I mean? Safe, semi, full auto. Suppressible. Now this thing is going to be suppressible and actually pretty sweet. So Red Right Hand, the guy who sent me the upper, big shout out to him. He has some great footage on his Instagram running this suppressed. So you take the bird cage off, you throw on a suppressor, you adjust it real quick with your gas setting, which I think is very sweet, on the fly setup, and I think it'd be a great asset to have also suppressed. Downside, of course, I think some cons to it, just initially, is gonna be some weight, but it's not terrible. It's like, be a man. It's really not that bad. I mean, you gotta think there's Marines running around similar setups, a little bit more goofy with 20-inch M16s, you know, the M16A4, this is just a quad rail. It's literally the only heavy part, and that's the point of just, like, hey, be a man, right? I know the whole ounces equal pounds, pounds equals pain, but if you're gonna be humping this for a bit, I would say I'd rather hump this than like a saw. But I'd rather own a saw than this. Dilemma. Another downside is you're gonna burn through ammo with this particular setup. I was using Badlands Munitions. Big shout out to those guys. They always hook it up with ammo, so support them is what I will say. You're gonna burn through ammo rather quickly. I went through my entire loadout just like that. And so keep in mind that if you were to run this type of loadout in a non-permissive environment, you would want to have a good option of carrying ammo, which makes a lot of sense. Papa Thumb always talks about what wins gunfights is having more ammunition. So definitely consider that. And you'll be good to go. So all in all, I'm very happy with this particular firearm. I think it is a gem to add to the collection. I am very stoked to have it, and I plan to do more content with it, kind of showing it off, maybe compare it to other type of American RPKs, maybe compare it to other type of RPKs in general, and see how it does. I do plan to enjoy it thoroughly. Let me know if I should rattle can it or rotary brushstroke paint it. I'm a little on the fence about that, so get in the comment section down below and let me know. That rhymed. Gentlemen, if you're a fan of the channel, make sure you like and subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Your comments are a sacrifice to the algorithm god, a god of which who likes to watch me suffer on the flat range during the summer heat. If you want to support the channel in any way, shape, or form, I have Patreon. Patreon is an excellent way to support the channel. We stay up late, talk about girls. There's a Discord server. We should be playing some video games together here soon, as well as merchandise. Merchandise is an excellent way to support the channel, and you get to rep some of the administrative results swag to let the girls know to stay away from you. So as always, gentlemen, stay easy, stay breezy. I'll catch you on the flip.